it's Brock here with Rock Hill Farms, and today I'm going to switch my Curtis Plus cab over to a Curtis base cab. If you haven't been following along with my videos on this cab, it's really pretty cool what Curtis has done. They took one cab frame and offer it in 3 different price levels, and the biggest difference between them is just the doors and the back glass. Which means that you can start off with the Curtis base cab, which is a very affordable option as far as tractor cabs go. And then down the road, if you want, you can upgrade to either the Plus cab or the Advantage cab. Now I started in the opposite order. I installed the Advantage cab, then I switched it to the Plus cab, and now I'm going to switch it to the base cab. I've ran each version for a couple weeks so far, just to get a feel for it, and now I'm going to run the base cab for a couple weeks, then I'll be able to give a comparison. And I've been surprised so far that I honestly think I might run the Plus cab all spring, summer, and fall. So the full steel door that you get with the Advantage cab also has a glass window, and it's going to be the most weather tight and seal up the best, and might be the best door for winter, especially if you have harsh winters. But I've been really surprised with how much I like these Plus cab doors. This is the mid-price range, and it's a steel frame with a locking door handle, but it's covered in vinyl, which gives you the ability to have a lightweight, inexpensive door with visibility all the way down to the floorboard. And the way it works in spring and summer, for me, is, for instance, today, I got up at 7 o'clock and came out to start working. And took the trash out, and I moved up some plywood, and I just had a list of small jobs I needed to do. Well, it was about 40 degrees out, so I loved having those doors on. And then 3-4 hours later, it warmed up. It's now in the upper 60s. I don't want the doors anymore. It's so easy to switch them out. So I really like having that flexibility. So like I said, I've been pleasantly surprised with the mid-price range option. When I first started looking at them, I'm like, well, I'm going to want the most expensive doors. But now I'm not really sure. And I'm going to have to run them more than a couple weeks to really determine that and find out what the durability is like. But so far, I'm impressed. So now I'm going to pop these doors off, and we're going to talk about the base cab doors. I've never put them on. I've never seen them in person. All I've seen is the pictures. So I'll form an opinion with you as we go. So the base cab doors are a full vinyl door that attach on the side and then have zippers, and you can roll it up and leave it in place even when you don't want doors on. You just have it rolled open. At least that's the way I think it's going to work. So I'm going to get those installed. I'll give you my initial thoughts on these. Then we'll talk about a price comparison, where I originally see value at out of all the different price points that you have on this series. Alright, so I don't know if it's just me or if it's everybody, but a lot of times I have to read assembly instructions for something like this 4 or 5 times before it makes any sense. Because you've got some of this Velcro goes facing out, some of it goes facing in. The left and the right seem the same, but it depends on which side you're on and which way the Velcro is facing. So I think I've got it all figured out now, and I'm going to try to explain it as simply as I can for you. So you've got magnets on the narrow end at the bottom. If you stick them to the bottom, then you should have your double Velcro section facing in, because that wraps around this pillar. One part of it goes on this side, one part of it goes on the front. That will leave your top and rear Velcro facing out towards you. So the first step is to take the other side of all this Velcro and attach it everywhere that you see Velcro. Then we'll hold this in place and remove the sticky backing and stick this on. It's the same process used on the back glass. Well, not the back glass, but the seal under the back glass was attached the same way. Alright, so I've got the Velcro put on. I've got my lovely assistant inside the cab. And you've got one bolt right here that you take loose so that you can fit this in between your post here and your top rail. Okay, I would say this is definitely a two-person job. I'm going to establish the first fixed point. I'm going to peel just a little bit of this back right here. So, I've got everything in place. The top of the vinyl is in between this top rail and this side frame. And I've got it adjusted side to side so that this adhesive strip is in the center of this rail. Now I'm going to pull the rest of the tape off from this direction and this direction. So I've got my daughter helping me, and I decided to switch places with her, so if it's not straight, it's not her fault. So I had my daughter hold the adhesive strip lined up with this frame right here on the other side. And then I peeled off the sticky back and attached it down this frame. Okay, so now we've attached the top and the rear. Just run this bolt back down. Now we're going to do the same thing, but we have to vent the front windshield open. Go ahead and vent that side. Push up. Okay, now that's vented open. We're going to peel the sticky backing off of this entire length and the windshield part. Okay, then we're going to stretch that over this way. So your vinyl back worked exactly the same as the vinyl doors. You put the Velcro around it and get it held in place, pull the backing off, stick it down, and then it rolls up. Alright, so we've got some beautiful weather today. I thought I'd just step outside and give my thoughts on the base cab. You know, as I was doing the install, I thought, you know, why would someone buy such a nice cab and put just a soft vinyl door on it? But it only took me a few minutes, you know, to get it. Because this is $1,100 cheaper than the Advantage cab with the steel doors. And that's a significant difference. You're talking about 1/3 of the cost can be saved by going to these doors. Now for me, I'd say 80% of the time on the tractor is going to be without doors on it. I'm going to use doors in the winter quite a bit, but in the summer and spring, maybe early morning or if it's raining. Other than that, I'm not going to have the doors on. And so you're saving all that money, and most of the time you're not really going to notice a difference. Because you can take this door off just like the other ones, and it actually has another benefit that I hadn't really thought of, is that you don't have to take the doors off. So if it's warm outside, I'm going to unzip this and then I'm going to roll it up and just leave it tucked at the top. So besides the fact that I don't have to pick up any door and that this is easier than carrying a door, you've got the fact that I don't have to store a door with this system. So I'm making plans to build a rack for those other 2 sets of doors, because right now I have 4 doors that I need to store. That's, you know, not a big problem. I just clear a little spot for them. But with this, you don't have to store anything. You just leave it right where it is. And most of the time, it's just open. You've got the protection from the sun. You've got the windshield protecting you. You've got all the other features, but the door is just rolled up on top. If I had to say today what my favorite option out of the 3 is, I'd probably say it's the Plus cab, because you're at that mid-price point. The doors are light, they have full visibility, and they're going to do a pretty good job. Now, if you're in a colder climate where you get tons of snow, you might want the Advantage cab. And if you're in a southern climate, you might be more interested in a base cab. So I think what you do with your tractor is going to make a big difference in which of these you're most interested in. But the cool part about it is you have options. The Curtis plan they have out right now gives you 3 options, and you can switch between them. So if today you say, I really want a full frame cab, but I just don't have, you know, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 to spend on it, you can buy the base cab for $2,300. And then a year later, you say, I like the cab, but I think I would rather have those Plus doors or the Advantage doors. You can upgrade and just buy the doors and switch them out. Maybe at the same time you say, well, I'll get those doors and I'd like to have the extra set of front-facing LEDs up here. Or, you know, there's several different options, like a rear view mirror, a dome light, an auxiliary control panel. You can add any of that one piece at a time if you change your mind later. So I'm all about versatility and flexible options, and you get that with this cab. So I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. In a minute you'll see links on the screen to a couple more of our videos, and I'll see you next time.